Okay, great. So I think I'm recording now. Let me start that again. This is the Montana Campus Compact Prospective Host Site webinar for Summer Associates. And before we start with intros, I'm going to actually mute everyone. And you can unmute yourself to ask questions. We've also got a chat bar, which is functioning. If you've got some questions, please feel free to either type them in or to unmute yourself and ask away. There's not a lot of us on this call. Some people couldn't make it last minute. So like I said, I am recording, so you can definitely refer to it in the future or pass it on to any coworkers who might have missed this call. And I'm actually going to share the screen right now, so please let me know if you're not able to see the screen. So right now, I'm going to go to from the beginning. Thanks for your patience while we work out these kinks here. So right now you should see a PowerPoint slide that says MTCC Summer Associate. If not, please chime in, and then we'll change it up. We'll switch it around here. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Erin Barstow. I'm the VISTA Program Manager here at Montana Campus Compact.
I'm Heidi Strohmeyer. I am the Program Specialist here at Campus Compact, and I support the AmeriCorps programs and the VISTA program.
Thanks. So Heidi's new here, so she's mostly going to be sitting in and observing, but she's going to be helping out a lot with VISTA member recruitment, so kind of after applications are turned in. And it looks like we've got a chat. And good question, Linda. These slides in this PowerPoint, both will be available to you after we get going here. Okay, so let's just get started. We just did intros. If the slideshow isn't moving along the screen, again, please let me know. So let's start with a brief overview of Montana Campus Compact. We are a statewide coalition of colleges and university presidents. We're committed to addressing community needs through the resources of higher education. So we're really here to empower and engage students to get involved civically in their communities. We do a lot of work, a lot of initiatives, and one of which is VISTA, which again, I'm the program manager of and Heidi support. And we work to establish partnerships between college campuses and their communities so the communities can better utilize and access the resources of higher education, really ultimately to bring low-income individuals and community out of poverty. That's the biggest the biggest premise of VISTA is this anti-poverty work, and we'll get more into that as we go. And just to get you up to speed, the Summer Associate Program is a branch of VISTA, so it's got a lot of those same priority areas and focuses. Before we launch into Summer Associates, of course, I gotta plug in some other opportunities we have coming up. We also have full-time VISTA positions the applications are available now, and that's for, again, a full-time member to start up in July of 2017, and that's to serve organizations in an indirect capacity to build capacity for projects and initiatives. We've got a webinar similar to this, but to focus on full-time sites tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can email me if you're interested in that. I'd love to chat with you more about that if you are, in fact, have questions. We also got, we're upcoming, the applications I don't think are out right now. Maybe you would know more about this, Heidi, but we also have some upcoming AmeriCorps opportunities these are mostly based on college campuses, but also with community entities to host a more direct service. That's the biggest difference really between AmeriCorps and VISTA, as VISTA is indirect service, AmeriCorps is direct service. So folks really focus on college access and student success. Again, I'd love to chat with you more about those opportunities, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to move on. So our Summer Associate Program, what is it? So really, to break down into bullet points, it's a 10-week service opportunity to engage college students and soon to become college students in service. We do have occasionally some community members that become service members with us, but we're prioritizing college students in this service opportunity. They're available to college campuses, schools, nonprofits, community entities to apply for this program. And remember the goal of VISTA is to help with anti-poverty work, and so same with this. So really thinking about how we can move people out of poverty is the main premise and focus of this program. Members serve full-time I say 24/7 because technically they serve 24/7. We, of course, do not ask you to have your summer associate serve every single day, every single hour of the day, but that's really to let the VISTAs and you know that their service must be flexible, that if you have evening commitments or weekend commitments beyond the 9 to 5, that they have to prioritize that. Mentioned a bit about the distinction between AmeriCorps and VISTA and indirect and direct, but Summer Associate kind of blurs those lines. So it's really, you can prioritize both indirect and direct service. So for example, a Summer Associate, hopefully I won't confuse those too often. Summer Associate can be conducting outreach and networking in your community for your summer programs or your whatever your priorities are, and then also kind of running those after-school programs or running that summer feeding program and doing that more direct service. We also must align with our program priorities, which I will get into in a minute. Another thing about this opportunity is that we're offering 2 service terms this summer, and they're both 10 weeks, so May 22nd to July 31st and June 1st to August 9th. You can apply for as many summer associates as you programmatically need or desire, and spanning both of those time frames. And another little fun fact is that nothing's for free. This program is $850 per member as a cost to your organization. And we're also going to talk more about the benefits, what summer associates get out of this program. Again, feel free to interrupt me at any point to ask questions. Okay, so let's get into our summer associate priorities. So these are programming that spans really 2 or 3 big topics. One is meal sites, so supporting or adding meal sites, summer feeding programs around the state. Another big priority area is education, which kind of we get into with either school enrollment or school success, primarily really though focusing on STEM projects, enhancing summer STEM opportunities for youth, and then preventing summer learning loss for low-income, underserved communities. Also among education is supporting work for GED or preparing for college and careers. And that third priority is veterans, engaging veterans and military families. So again, it's meal sites, summer meal sites, education, primarily in STEM, college and career success, and summer learning loss, and then veterans and military families. Another big pillar and priority of Montana Campus Compact specifically is this campus partnership, of building a campus partnership. We are an affiliation of college campuses around the state, so of course this is important that we're networking with our campuses and with you, community entities around the state. We've got 18 colleges, 4-year, 2-year tribal that are a part of this affiliation. Doesn't mean that you specifically need to partner with them, but just with, again, networking with the college campus in your area. The benefits that we see is that we're in collaborating with these campuses, we're creating service learning and research opportunities for students to hopefully apply for these opportunities and to engage in their local communities. We're also working to leverage resources of higher education to assist in community problem solving, to develop tools to improve your organization's impact in the community, so really networking and seeing how the local college can help you and your organization grow. And then also this larger focus area and benefit is of participating in a national movement to renew the public purpose of higher education. So that's really saying that higher education is there to, a big priority and a growing priority of institutions is to engage their students civically, to help them prepare and find success post-college and in college too. So you're becoming a part of that big picture. So really how we see nonprofits and community entities partner with campuses is to help with candidate recruitment. We're going to be recruiting heavily for college students on Montana campuses. That would be a great avenue of support and networking, just an example too, for you to connect with your local college. Okay, so here are some examples of our summer projects. And I meant to say in the beginning that this slideshow is not very fun. I apologize. And I'm working on making it a little more interactive in pictures. But anyway, for now, this is what it's like. This is what it is. So some examples we've had in the past, and these are actually 2 Missoula-based funds, but we've got programs running all over the state. An example of flagship program. That's an after-school program targeting underserved youth in summer learning loss. And those summer associates help to recruit volunteers and also participants for their summer camps, which are focused on academic enrichment through field trips and project-based learning. So that's a good blend of indirect service and direct service, kind of the back-end recruiting volunteers, participants, and also helping to lead these camps. Oh, I didn't mention that in that this blurb, but they also helped on that direct service side as well. Missoula Public Library, that is Stop Summer Slide project, where the summer associate recruited volunteers and participants for this makerspace summer camp, and they also led science, technology, engineering, arts, and math camp activities. Also promoting library programs at local events, and then taught computer classes as well. Lots of other examples. These are just a couple, just to get you some of your brains kind of turning here. So some benefits to summer members. Members receive a living allowance for their service, and that comes to a little more than $2,000 for that 10-week term. And this may, to some of you, be surprising, of like, wow, that's not a lot. So if you are not already familiar with VISTA, VISTAs we talked about it being an anti-poverty program, and really the purpose of this program is for national service members to experience a holistic sense of poverty. So to serve impoverished communities and to live at the poverty level of those communities themselves. So that's a little explanation there. A big benefit that we see is they receive, upon completion of their full term, they receive an education award of a little over $1,000. And that can be used towards paying off student loans and also towards future education. And actually, many colleges in Montana will match that award, either $500 or $1,000. So you can almost double that award for a lot of Montana students and around the country as well. There's also that in case someone is not interested in the education award, they don't have loans, they don't plan to go back to school, there's a cash award as well. It's obviously significantly less. But those are the benefits. The monetary benefits anyway. Some things with summer associates, I should have changed that. It's a short-term position, so there's no health care or life insurance or child care allowances, unlike our full-time AmeriCorps and VISTA positions, they receive that. There's also no relocation allowance or housing. So our emphasis this year is really to focus on our target recruitment to our local communities and to your local community, because finding housing for 10 weeks is tricky. We've definitely had people who've done it, and most people last year did. We can talk about that more in a little bit, but we definitely, again, are trying to recruit locally. A little bit more about who summer associates are. So they must be at least 18 years of age. This is a federal program, and that's just a requirement of this program. We don't really have any say in that. They must not be a registered sex offender. And again, this isn't a must, but we're going to prioritize your local communities. So high school graduates, future college students, current college students, and community members can all apply to serve. And again, it's that full-time basis, so they must be full-time with you. So for example, if you have an after-school program and it's only, well, in summertime it might be full-time, but say if it's just a couple hours a day, they're not there to just show up for that program and then leave. They're there really an average of 40 hours a week is what we kind of equate it to, this 24/7 deal. So we're now going to go through the application, and I got a new computer, so I'm hoping that we can switch over to it. It might take a minute for me to figure that out. But just a brief synopsis here of the application there's an application that we have. Please submit that in Word format. If you're having trouble filling it out, it's kind of a locked document where you can only fill out the text box sections. I'm not sure if it's super compatible with Mac. It should be with a PC. But again, if you're having problems, please let us know. Also, there's an MOU and attachments with signatures that are required in addition to that application. All this is found on our website, and please submit that to grants@mtcompact.org. Okay, so let's see if I can figure this out. I think we're here. So now we should all see the Word document, which is our application. And I'm going to try scrolling. If it's not scrolling on your computer, if you can't see this application scrolling, please let me know. I think we're good though, because no one said anything yet. Okay, so notes over here that I want to refer to. So the first page, oh, let me see. Working good, great. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate that feedback. Okay, so this first page is basic. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. I guess I'll point out that please indicate a project period and that you can apply for both periods, whatever is going to best fit your needs as a host site. These should be familiar to you by now. These priority programming areas, I just talked about them. They go into detail and they're again, they're priority areas, so they need to be, you need to know about them and they need to be touched on in your application. What is your project about? Speaking of that, project description. Just give us a brief description of what the summer associates or summer associate will be engaged in for the summertime. Pretty self-explanatory. This is the part that I really want to get into a little more detail here. Part 2, project assessment, because this is a vital component. It's basically proving why your project is important and why we are a good fit as Montana Campus Compact, a good fit for your organization. So how will this project alleviate poverty? We're not looking for just simply poverty rates in your community. We really want to know more specifically how your project is going to help alleviate poverty. So for example, if you're a meal site, we want statistics of the students who qualify for free and reduced lunch in your communities, in your schools, and why or how your program will help to address these problems. But really, we're not going to accept applications that don't include statistics and again, proof about what that poverty problem is. Similarly, for the next section or the next question, what community need will your project address? We really want you to explain why or how your, for example, your after-school program will address summer learning loss and how will it be effective. And we really want you to highlight statistics on other programming in other areas or in your communities that have proven to be effective. And these can be, you can draw from, again, local or regional or statewide if you're having trouble finding more local data to support how this project is unique, how you're meeting this poverty problem and this community need. Happy to go into more detail with you specifically, each of you specifically, but for now, again, just really emphasizing that we're not going to accept one sentence answers. You've got to include those statistics. I can't emphasize that enough in really proving to us, again, why this project is going to be a good fit. Skip through this stuff. Another important section is part 3, Summer Associate Assignment Description. Please treat this like a job description. This person is not technically you're not hiring them, they're a national service member, but again, just for comparison, that this is, it may look a little funky, but this is essentially what your summer associate will be doing for your 10 weeks. So it's good to think big here. Again, if you've got this summer program that's only a couple hours a day, or it starts, say, you signed up for the June 1st to August 9th slot or, service term, but your summer programs don't begin until June 10th. Think big about what this summer associate, how you can take advantage of this service, of this person coming in to serve with you full time, about what they can be doing to help your organization or to help that program run. So things to think about is being specific and including measurables with your objectives and activities. To again, want to think big picture, but also to be, instead of saying, conduct outreach in communities for summer meal sites. We want to be more specific of where they're going to be conducting research, with what materials, are they making those materials, do they already exist? Just again, the more information that you put on here, the better, because your summer associate will be using this to engage in his or her service term. Again, we're here for questions about this process. We understand that maybe this is something you've never seen before, but again, it's going to be helpful, really helpful for your summer associate to move through their service. Okay, moving on to to part 4, which is the project performance measures. As with most things, data is important, and we need to prove that your program is making an impact in your community. And these are performance measures that were decided by the government, and they're passed down to us, and we need to report on them. So again, so that we can receive more funding, so that we can grant you more summer associates in the future. So this is priority programming areas in the far left column. That will be the priority area that you selected in the first and second pages of your application. We've got outputs and outcomes, and we want you to choose just one output and up to 2 outcomes, and that's written here on the application. And to really think about, rather than just blindly selecting something, of course, we don't recommend that, but to think about how your summer associate or you are going to track these outputs and outcomes and how you're going to measure them, because your summer associate will be reporting monthly, so probably 2 reports in their span of time, a service term on these measures. And the more specific you can be with your summer associate about these performance measures and how you will track them, the better off you will be. And scrolling through, so that's the biggest stuff. We have this other section for just how you can help support your summer associate. And it's certainly not mandatory to provide housing, to provide meals. It certainly helps to recruit a great candidate for you, which is a big piece of this. The first step is applying and getting approval for your application. And the second is, of course, recruiting a candidate. There's no guarantee that once you apply that you'll find a candidate, because that's a whole another stage that I'm going to talk about in a little bit here. So maybe I'll just, for a minute, pause and unmute everyone. If anyone has, maybe I just muted you. Unmute, here we go. So I just unmuted everyone. Now's a good time to ask some questions about this application process. If not, I'm happy to move on. But this, we understand that it can be confusing, so we definitely want to clear up any questions that you may have.
Hey, Erin.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So you might have mentioned it and I might have just missed it. But let's say our application is approved. What time would the recruiting process start? Like, what is the time frame for that?
Good question. And I'm going to get to that in just a minute.
Oh,
so,
perfect.
Chime in if I somehow didn't answer your question, but that's the next step here.
Perfect. Yeah. Cool.
And Linda just mentioned, I noticed the dates are incorrect on the app. Oh, shoot. Yeah. What dates? Where, do you see? Oh. Maybe she'll tell us.
Oh, June 2016.
Oh, they say 2016.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we know it's 2017. Good catch, Linda. Thanks for that. Can't get everything perfect. On part 3. So we might fix that, but this is going to be fine if you use this application. And this is the application that's on our website. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just mute everyone again, but feel free again to unmute yourself. And we're gonna keep going here. All right, so I'm gonna go back and share the screen with. Where'd that go? Here we go. Okay, so we did that, reviewed the application. This is just a synopsis here of everything that I said, so I won't go through it again, but just some important information about that, again, that application. Okay, here's an important slide. Contact us before the deadline. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know about your project ideas, how it aligns with our priority areas. We can help you with that campus partnership if you're struggling there, and really to ensure that overall we've got this anti-poverty focus to your project. Contacting us beforehand with your project ideas, with your application questions is really going to help you. It's going to increase your likelihood of our partnership, of working with you to help you get a VISTA, to get a summer associate. So I can't emphasize that enough. If we haven't talked to you already, please be in touch with us about what you're thinking. And one of the reasons why that is so important is because of recruitment. So recruitment is a big piece of the puzzle here. Again, as I mentioned, the application is one piece. We get that approved. We go to basically our state office and make sure it is a federal program. So we've got some loopholes to run through. But after it's all approved, we can start with that recruitment piece. And the sooner we get your application approved and ready to go, the sooner we can begin recruiting. So we anticipate that timeline, and I've got a timeline towards the bottom of this show, of this PowerPoint here with that timeline about when and about we're going to start recruiting. But again, the earlier we can do that, the more likely you are to receive a good fit for your program. We really want to emphasize, and I mentioned we've thrown this in this PowerPoint in various areas about the emphasis that we're going to have on recruiting locally. These summer associates, a 10-week term, and there's no housing or relocation provided. So we have had VISTAs from all over the country flock to Montana. Turns out, the secret's out, Montana is a pretty cool state, so lots of people are willing to fly, to drive thousands of miles to come serve with your organization. But we really want to target these Montana students, Montana high school grads, Montana college students looking to engage in their communities. That's really going to help out with that, eliminating that housing need or that relocation cost if they're traveling home for the summer from college or in your local community. So for that, we need your help. We need you to use your campus partner to recruit at that campus. I don't know if you can access their university Facebook page. That might not be allowed. But there's an example of how you can kind of reach out to definitely job or volunteer sites. It's a little tricky because summer associate is not technically a job, nor is it really a volunteer because it's more of a paid volunteer. It's a paid national service member. But we use, just so you know, we use University of Montana job and also volunteer sites. You can kind of target both realms there. Also, get into classrooms, kind of flyer your specific sites around your communities and your schools. Dig into your volunteer pool, your current pool. Is there any standout volunteer that you'd love to offer this opportunity to? It's a great way to, again, earn some cash for future school or for loans, or to just be engaged in your communities and to make a meaningful impact. It's an easy and fun sell to a lot of people who are already stand out in your organization. And of course, post on social media. So again, really helping us out in getting the word out. And start thinking now. We haven't approved your application and we're not quite there, but it's always good to be proactive and really thinking about who this could be a good fit for. We, of course, will do recruitment on our end. That's a big part of Heidi's role and all of our roles here is to help find you a good fit for your summer associate. We post this on, because it's a federal program, we post it on this government, AmeriCorps.gov, which lists summer associate, VISTA, AmeriCorps positions all around the country. So people from all around the country will have access to your site. We will also post it on our website specifically, blog post, Facebook post, newsletter, and we have this great network of college campuses around the state where we'll be doing heavy recruitment to college students there. A little bit into the screening process, just to be clear about this and how it does involve you. So we'll see a candidate, they'll apply, they have two professional references that they'll need to include with their AmeriCorps application. And then we interview the candidates who we think would be a good fit. We discuss national service, the 10-week commitment, the education award, if they're not local, what it's like to live in Montana and in your community specifically. If we deem them a good fit, we pass them on to you. And that's when it's your job to review their materials, what we pass on to you, that interview, their application, their references, in a timely manner. We really suggest 1 to 2 days. We got to be thinking that these applicants are likely, or these candidates are likely applying to many different programs in your community, around your state, around the state, maybe potentially around the country. So we really want to snag those good ones and to, again, initiate this in a timely manner, contacting and interviewing those candidates. And ultimately, you get to decide who is going to be the best fit, or plural, who are going to be the best fits for your organization. You'll then inform us. We're kind of the the conduit here, the liaison between these candidates and you. So we want to know who you think is going to be a good fit, and then we will contact them with an offer. And if they accept, we'll of course be in touch with you and initiate that onboarding process. Okay, some expectations of you is to, this is reiterating stuff here now, but to aid in the local recruitment of your summer associate, to be really involved in that process, to contact those candidates that we send on to you in a timely manner. Of course, to support them once they're assigned to your site. Some of them may be familiar with your community, may be local to you, may have volunteered with you before. Some of them may have not, and they're going to require a little more time up front of integrating into your community, into your workplace, and to the state in general. So it's a commitment on your end as well as on their end. To complete all the reporting requirements, the next slide is about this, mostly for your summer associates, these reporting requirements, but you should be aware of them as well. And there are deadlines associated with that. And then, of course, to pay us your participation fee. That's important too. And we, of course, will invoice you. And you won't pay, so this is important, we won't charge you for that fee until we have solidified a summer associate for you. Some reporting information, so your summer associate will complete a monthly report. It's just a simple Google form. They're going to report on those performance measures that you selected. But again, it's really important that you have a way of measuring those performance measures so that they can accurately report and we can accurately report on our end of things upwards. Your VISTA, your summer associate, will also have an activity log that you or whoever is supervising this member will review and approve. That's just proof that they're there. It's not a timesheet. It's really just kind of a log of what your summer associate is doing. Again, it's more proof that they're there and that we're allocating resources appropriately and accurately. Your summer associate will also have just a simple end-of-term impact report. This is, again, a simple report of what they did for that summer and what kind of impact they made. And those are fun for us to read, and we highlight those in blog posts. We can get national attention sometimes. We love kind of any attention that, or photos, or press releases, newspaper articles, etc., involving the great work of your summer associates. And a little bit too, so that fee of $850 helps us to cover the benefits for your summer associates, so that education award or that cash stipend, their living allowance, and also the training opportunity that we provide. So we'll host trainings the first day of your summer associate service, either May 22nd or June 1st in Missoula, which means that we will maybe have to webinar some folks in who can't necessarily travel from a faraway place to Missoula, and we'll go over the commitment of a summer associate, the benefits, the expectations, the reporting requirements, etc., and throw in some professional development there as well. Oh, and this is Mayor Engen of Missoula with a class of, they're all women. We do have males who serve in this capacity, summer associates and VISTAs. These happen to all be female for this fast full-time summer class. So here's a timeline. Those applications that we just reviewed will be due to that grants at mtcompact.org by February 15th. Didn't put this on here, but please contact us beforehand with your either a draft or project ideas. And the clarification period is the time that we take in our office to make sure that your application aligns with our priorities, all those things that I mentioned before. Program priority alignment, anti-poverty focus alignment, got that campus partnership, etc. And we have to receive higher up approval as well. So that stuff takes a little bit of time. But ultimately, we hope to start that your candidate recruitment process around March 1st. So that way we can be right around the time when Montana students and also students nationwide are going on their spring breaks and are really trying to figure out what they're going to do for the summer. So to get those proactive college students or high school graduates who are 18. And then in early May, we've got a time limit where we have until, and I actually don't know what it is, but it's going to be sometime early May. So we'll have a closed window of recruitment period And then we'll have one more host site preparation webinar for you all to answer any last minute questions to make sure you're prepped and prepared for that 10-week term. And then, as I mentioned, we call it a pre-service orientation for those summer associates members, national service members, summer associates. There's all sorts of terms that we're throwing around here, or that I'm throwing around, either May 22nd or June 1st. And I think that's it. Whew. Lots of information. Definitely happy to, maybe I'll unmute everyone right now. Okay, so everyone's unmuted, so if you don't have questions, maybe unmute yourself so we can avoid some background noise here. And if background noise gets tough, then maybe I'll just go back to muting you all. But we're here to answer any questions you have about any of this. We're not going to get into your specific projects right now on this call, but let's email me and let's set up a separate time to review what you're thinking if you haven't gone over that with me or with us already. So we'll just be on the call for a little longer here. And if you don't have any questions, then I'm going to respond to this chat here. Oh, thanks, Sarah. So again, we'll stay on for a little longer, but if you don't have any questions, feel free to exit, and we'll be in touch. And thanks again so much. Thanks so much for your time. And thanks, Linda. I'm glad it was helpful. Okay, so I'm going to stop.